Becoming a licensed mortgage loan originator, or MLO. It can seem like a huge process, right? But what if you had a clear roadmap? That's exactly what we're going to build today. A step-by-step guide to take you from your very first day of class all the way to a successful career.
It's a journey, for sure, and it can feel a little overwhelming, but the path is actually super well defined. Think of this as your own personal GPS for navigating the MLO licensing process. So let's start with that first turn.
All right, so your journey kicks off right here, and this is the non-negotiable first step, pre-licensure education, or PLE for short. This isn't just a good idea, it's the mandatory foundation for everything else you're going to do.
So what is this PE thing, anyway? Well, it's the core training required by the nationwide multi-state licensing system. You'll hear it called the NMLS. And here's the really crucial part. You literally cannot even sit for the national exam without getting this done first. It's your ticket to the test.
And you know, the great thing about this first step is how flexible it is. You can pick your format, maybe a self-paced online course, maybe a live webinar. You can start whenever you want, 24/7. And you get to set your own pace. You can power through it in just 3 days or take up to 2 weeks. It's designed to fit your life, not the other way around. Okay, so once you've got that PE under your belt, you'll hit the central challenge on your roadmap, passing the SAFE MLO national exam. This is the big one, the hurdle that proves you know your stuff and allows you to move forward.
And trust me, it is a real challenge. Check out this number, 57%. That's the national pass rate for people taking it the first time. Now, I'm not showing you that to scare you. It's meant to focus you. It tells us that preparation is everything, and knowing what you're up against, that's half the battle right there. So, how do you make sure you're in that 57%? You gotta know the battlefield. The exam is broken down into these 5 key areas. And look at this. Loan origination activities and federal laws, together, they make up more than half the test. This is basically your study guide. Focusing your time based on these percentages is just the smartest way to prepare. Period.
Structurally, you're looking at 120 multiple-choice questions. But here's a little inside scoop. 5 of those are actually unscored test questions. So what's the takeaway? If you hit a question that feels like it came from another planet, don't panic. Don't let it throw you off your game. It might not even count. Your score is based on the other 115. All right, passing that exam is a huge deal, but the journey doesn't stop there. Holding an MLO license is an ongoing thing, which brings us to the next part of your career, keeping that license active year after year. So to keep your license active, you've got to complete what's called continuing education, or CE, every single year. The whole point is to make sure you're staying up to date on all the latest industry rules and standards. It's not just checking a box, it's about staying sharp. And listen, that deadline is absolute. The SAFE Act is crystal clear here. It says continuing education can only count for the year it's taken. You can't bank hours or try to make up for a missed year later. The bottom line is simple. Your CE for, say, this year must be done within this calendar year. But what if life happens, right? What if you miss that deadline? Don't freak out. There's a detour to get you back on the main road. This is where a special kind of course called Late CE comes into play. Late CE does exactly what it sounds like. It's a course you take in the current year that you can apply to a previous year you missed. It's the official way to reactivate a license that went inactive because you missed that education deadline. So, late CE usually comes up in 2 main situations. The first is reinstatement. This is like a quick fix. You just missed last year's deadline and you want to get your license active again early in the new year. The second is relicensing. This is for someone who used to be an MLO, left the industry for a bit, and now wants to come back. They need to go back and satisfy the requirement for the last year they were licensed. And for anyone thinking about coming back to the industry, this is so important. Before you do anything, call your state regulator. Find out exactly what you need. Because if you've been out of the game for 3 years or more, you'll probably have to go all the way back to the beginning and retake your pre-licensure education. Why does this matter so much? Because every state has slightly different rules, and you want to be 100% sure you're doing the right thing. And that brings us full circle to our destination. When you look back at this whole roadmap, from that very first course all the way to renewing your license years from now, it all boils down to one simple idea: preparation. So let's do a quick recap of the journey, right? You start with that foundational pre-licensure course, your PE. Then you prep smart and you pass that big national exam. You stay active with your annual continuing education, your CE. And if you ever take a detour, late CE is there to get you right back on track. So we've laid out the map. We've pointed out the main highways, the tough climbs, and even the detours. The path forward is clear. The only question left is for you. What's your next step going to be to make sure your preparation is complete for the amazing journey ahead?